ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
मूर्तिभेद विभागिने
मूर्तिभेदविभागिने
व्योमवद्व्याप्त देहाय
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना भवतु
सहना भवतु
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयम्
पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति योगिनः
यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
यस्यान्तं विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते
रोगान् शेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान्
शेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान्
त्वामाश्रितान्नान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति
त्वामाश्रितानां विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिताह्याश्रयतां प्रयन्ति
सर्वाबाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते
रोगान् शेषान् पहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलान् अभीष्टान्
सकलानभीष्टान्
त्वामाश्रितानान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति सर्वाबाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम् सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते
रोगान् शेषान् पहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलान् अभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रितान्नान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति सर्वाबाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र
आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र
समं पश्यति योऽर्जुन
समं पश्यति योऽर्जुन
सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखम्
सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखम्
स योगी परमो मतः
स योगी परमो मतः
अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
योऽयं योगस्त्वया प्रोक्तः
योगस्त्वया प्रोक्तः
साम्येन मधुसूदन
साम्येन मधुसूदन
एतस्याहं न पश्यामि
एतस्याहं न पश्यामि
चञ्चलत्वा स्थितिं स्थिराम्
चञ्चलत्वा स्थितिं स्थिराम्
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
प्रमाथि बलवद्दृढम् तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये
तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये
वायुरिव सुदुष्करम्
वायुरिव सुदुष्करम्
(32nd verse). Last, Bhagavan has explained that Samadarshanam, that buddhi, one who can say everything is here, nothing, but Ishvara, otherwise we can say everything is here, nothing, but myself as a consciousness. That person, Bhagavan is given as one simile. Bhagavan says, Yaha sarvatra samam pashyati. Yaha atmagyani sarvatra sarvabhuteshu. In each and every being, samam pashyati. One who has that mind of sameness, oneness, and how they look each and every being, atma upamyena. We have seen the meaning of atma and upama. That person is seeing each and every being is like oneself only. He is taking oneself as a comparison to see each and every being. It's called atma aupamyena. And if that person has such vision, then Bhagavan says, Sukham va yadi va dukkham. If that person sees anybody's happiness, that person himself or herself is happy. But same way, if person sees somebody is in pain, so that person pick up that pain. He same is unhappy like that person. If some person has such vision, Bhagavan says, Sa yogi paramo mataha. That is the exalted person in all being. And here, Bhagavan has completed to describe that Atmagnani, one who has the vision of oneness. After describing everything, Arjuna has raised the question, and which is also, we can say, we can connect with this question. This is same question for us also. And he says, Yoyam yogaha tvaya proktaha samyena madhusudana etasya aham na pashyami chanchalatvat sthitim sthiram. Arjuna has asked, Yaha ayam yogaha tvaya proktaha. Let's see. He says, Yaha ayam yogaha. Here the meaning of yoga means the vision of sameness. Here yoga is not karma yoga, not upasana, but ultimate vision. Here is nothing but Ishvara. That vision, tvaya proktaha, is already talked by you, which is said by you. And he is explained also samyena. The meaning of samyena means oneness, the vision of oneness. It is nice to hear, but etasya aham na pashyami. But this, the vision of sameness, I cannot see. And what he cannot able to see, sthitim sthiram. He cannot able to permanent. He can, he cannot permanent steady in that vision, because in everyday transaction, I cannot able to continue with that vision. It is very difficult. And he says the reason is chanchalatvad, because of my mind is always used to wander everywhere. Chanchalatvat. Chalati chalati is chanchala. We keep on wandering. It's called chanchalatvat. He says, because of the wanderness of my mind, I cannot able to concentrate. I cannot remain steady in that state of oneness vision. That he explained to Lord Krishna. And this is the last topic actually. We have seen Bhagavan is going to discuss total 5 topics in meditation. A person who would like to sit in meditation every day, which lifestyle that person has to follow. Bahiranga sadhana. Second one we have seen Antaranga sadhana. Immediate before sitting in meditation, what steps to be followed is called Antaranga sadhana. Then the Swarupam of meditation, Dhyana Swarupa. What we called Dhyana is the third topic. Fourth topic was, we have seen the result of meditation, Nididhyasanam, the vision of oneness that we have seen, and now obstacles of meditation. Now Arjuna has raised the question of obstacle. This is the obstacle he is discussing. So he says, Yaha ayam yoga tvaya proktaha samyena. The meaning is samatvena, that vision of oneness. That he says, aham na pashyami, that I am not able to continue on that vision. And why? So he says, chanchalatvat manasah, because of wandering of my mind. Sthiram means steady. Sthiti means that state. I cannot able to continue in that state of oneness. Even for all of us, it is next difficult. That question he has asked, he is doing it the behalf of us. He is asking the same question. And that we have seen, but we are on that point, the discussing point, the obstacles of meditation. It says, this is discussed in Mandukya. This all obstacles are discussed in Mandukya. Layaha, Vikshepaha, another is called Kashaya, and last one is called Rasasvadaha. The meaning of Laya means our mind becomes dull and used to go to sleep. It's called Layaha. Because it's a very conducive, this conducive atmosphere. While he sit in meditation, we switched off all lights and there is nothing. So we go to, this condition is very conducive to go to sleep. So this is called Layaha. And many people I have written and suffer from this problem and they feel guilty also. This is called Layaha. Second obstacle is called Vikshepaha. The meaning of Vikshepaha means during meditation, mind goes out. It's called Vikshepaha. He can go everywhere except in meditation, the object of meditation. Otherwise, he can go everything. It's called Vikshepaha. Disturbance, agitation, whatever is. So that's why our mind is hyperactive. And sometimes new people used to sit in meditation. They are highly enthusiastic. So they cannot control their mind and immediately it goes out. It's called Vikshepaha. Third one is called Kashaya. The meaning of Kashaya, according to Mandukya, I have written is a Stabdhi Bhava. Just we become, we don't have any expression to speak anything. So that's why I have written the meaning of Kashaya. So like if we face some deep grief, so we can't express our sorrow. Without expressing our sorrow, what would be the condition of our oneself is called Stabdhi Bhava. We can't speak also. We can't even move our body also. Completely, it's like freeze. It's called Stabdhi Bhava. So I have given one example. If in accident, pain goes beyond the limit, then person doesn't feel any pain, whenever it happens, meet any accident. And both level, even it happens at physically level also, and it happens in emotionally level also. He can't say it's I am in pain. It's totally just without saying anything. Same way, Shastra says, in our past, we have internalized. There are many pain in our life, maybe from childhood also, but that intense past, raga dvesha, somebody has hurt us, that pain is also inside. We have some affection towards some person or people, it doesn't make out, then that pain also sitting inside. This all pain are potential to surface while when we are sitting in meditation. This is called Kashaya. So really speaking, the meaning of Kashaya means our past pain, which we have not sorted out, which is not gone out from our mind, from our unconscious or even from subconscious mind. Pujya Swamiji used to say, this all pain is like, boil. If, physical body, if we have boil, so we always try to remove that boil. And then it goes, then we feel comfortable. Same way, this all pains is like a boil sitting inside our heart. And when our mind is comfortable, mind is little bit calm, in meditation it becomes calm. And at that time, it comes, it surfaces, and it gives again pain. According to Mandukya, is called Kashaya. Pujya Swamiji used to tell, sometimes, if you are sitting in meditation, nothing happens. And all of a sudden, there is a one thought comes, when I was at the age of 6, my uncle has slapped me. Still, why he should slap me? I was in very pain. Something comes on surface. It's called Kashaya. This is the third one, obstacle. And last one, this is also given in Mandukya only, it's called Rasasvada. We enjoy meditation like a person who is alcoholic. When that person takes alcohol, he feels good or she feels good. And at that time, in that toxication period, that person doesn't feel what is going in that life, in his or her life. So he enjoyed that period of time. It's called rasasvada. He enjoyed. He just forget what he or she. Same way, in meditation, if person is comfortable in meditation, he feels, enjoyment in that meditation. And, our mind is like a child. So whatever we teach our mind, after some period of time, if following whatever instruction we give, if we tell our mind from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., you should stop thinking. Any thought should not come in our mind. If we say our mind, so after some time, I can't say immediately, but 6 months, even after 1 year, our mind stops thinking during this time when we sit for meditation. And if there is no thoughts in our mind during this half an hour, we start feeling good. But Shastra says, what you are feeling good without any thought process, this is not good. If you enjoy this thoughtless meditation, this is not good, because you are taking one rasa out of this meditation. According to Shastra, meditation is not for enjoyment. Meditation is to change our thought process, to change our old sanskara, to change our vasanas, whatever we have from many births and births. For that's why we keep on telling our mind, na punyam na papam, whatever we are keep on telling during this period of time to change our thought process. And if person is not interested in such to change our thought process, he keep on taking that rasa, the taste of that meditation, it says is a one type of addiction. Like alcohol is an addiction, same way this is called addiction. Rasasvada is called addiction. And our Shastra doesn't say it is good for us. It says, that's why I have written here, Vedic meditation makes us sincere in and through in our life. In every condition, our mind should be ready to face any condition. That's why meditation is there, not like an addiction. So according to Shastra, these all four are considering as an obstacle. Arjuna has raised question for this obstacle, Vikshepaha. Bhagwan doesn't discuss here Laya, Kashaya, and even Rasasvada. So let's see, Bhagwan will discuss Abhyasa tu Kauntaya Vairagyana cha Gruhyate. This is for Vikshepa. But what are the remedies for Laya, Kashaya, and Rasasvada? This Kashaya and Rasasvada thoroughly discussed in Mandukya. Laya is good, is easy to control. We can control our sleep during the meditation. So I have written here, what are the remedies? So if we say take Laya, just for example, Laya means goes to sleep. So how can we remove sleep condition? So I have written less eating. And our mind is also not habituated to practice and sit, what I have written here, I don't know, yeah, for some time quietly. So that's why it goes to sleep. So we keep our mind or keep our body to in practice so we can sit for length of time. Even sometimes 20 minutes is also good enough. 30 minutes or maximum 45 minutes is good enough. But we can train our mind. Okay, during this period of time, you need not to go to sleep. Even Pujya Swamiji used to tell, after having good lunch, it is very bad time to sit in meditation. Even heavy dinner also, it is a not good time for meditation. If person feels sleepy in the night time and that person sit for meditation, it is not good. So laya takes place. It is better when we are fresh. Sometimes some person is fresh in the evening time also. It not necessary every time Brahma Muhurat. If person is comfortable in late evening, late night, even after 10, person can sit. So time is not necessary, but necessary is our mind should fresh. So we can control our laya. Vikshepa, Bhagwan will discuss in after 2 verse, Abhyasaha and Vairagya. At that time we will see. But what about the Kashaya? So mind has hidden complaint, hidden sorrow, hidden jealousy. Everything will surface. And I will tell you, generally, for householder, Gruhastha, this Kashaya never surface. Because they have many problems in their present also, you know. There's stressful life. They have to face many. Even in home, they have to take care. Even they go out, they have to take care. So mind is always occupied with this present problem. The Kashaya problem surface when person doesn't have to do anything. So suppose we are living in Gurukul Vasa, in ashram, there is no responsibility, just only study and only with Ishvara. At that time only they are surface. Otherwise, they never comes up. But what is the solution? There are two solutions. They say, like you develop Drugadrushya Viveka. I always say there is a one line, Drashta Drashyam na bhavati. The meaning is, where is we are? Drugadrushya Viveka. So what we are seeing, we cannot be that thing. If we are seeing a rising sun, so sun considered as a sin. And we are seer. So seer cannot be seen. Same way, our body is also, we can see our body. So body is also drashyam. So we are not body. In the same way, in our mind also, there are subtle thoughts. We can see our thoughts in meditation. If we can feel our thoughts in meditation, so these thoughts cannot be us. Let them pass. Let them pass. It's called Drugadrashya Viveka. Whatever come, we should not involve. It is called first remedy. And if person would like to feel to cry, allow them to cry. If that person starts crying, then it will be come out. Then it will be goes. Totally it will go. So same way, I used to say, what we experience, we cannot be that thing. If I experience pain inside, so experience is different, and person who is experiencing is different. So if we feel our experience of sorrow, if we experience that feeling of depression or whatever pain, so we can understand this is only experience. I am different from that experience. That way also, we can just let them allow. Only one, we should not involve. I always used to say that if we go nearby Ganges, you know, in Rishikesh, if we go near Ganga, so if we are sitting on the bank of Ganga, we can enjoy the Ganga. But if we don't know how to swim, we should not jump into the Ganga. If we jump into Ganga, even they say, even expert swimmer can also just swept away. That is flow of Ganga. So just we can enjoy Ganga on the sitting on the bank. Same way, we can enjoy our thought process. It's just going like a one flow. Thought process is going from our mind. We are just sitting still inside the mind, but we are as a witness. Let them allow to go. This Ramakrishna Paramahansa, one student was named, that sannyasa name I don't know, but his name was Hari Maharaj. In previous
Turiyananda Swami, Turiyananda.
Turiyananda. Yeah, that he has, there is a one Vedanta ashram, I think in some US, Vivekananda is open. And it was, Turiyananda was is head of that ashram at that time, when he is just open. And Vivekananda asked Turiyananda, be there only, you keep, take care of this ashram. So Turiyananda, he says, okay, I will take care. So one time Turiyananda was sitting under the tree and he was laughing. And one of his student, she goes near to him and she asked Swamiji, why are you laughing? Then Turiyananda says, I'm just seeing my thought process. And I just feeling laughing because such silly also thoughts are passing from my mind. This is called, we are allowing our mind to all thoughts process is just going, should not be involved. So Turiyananda was not involved. That's why he was enjoying his thought process. Same way, if we can keep, we can, we can create a space between us and that thought process. Then we can let them allow to go and we can enjoy. This is only way to let them go all kashayas from our mind. This is the only process. So this is the kashaya. And for rasasvada, what is the solution? Otherwise, it's addiction, you know. Nowadays, there's some meditation, not our Nididhyasana. They always say, they champion for this, you should, thoughtless is the best practice. They always say, our mind should not be at that time to think anything. But this is not good. That's why, what should we can do? It's only, we should have proper discrimination. And we should have viveka. What is good? What, and why I'm sitting for meditation? Not for enjoyment. So we can enjoy anything. If we can listen anything, good thing, we can enjoy. But for enjoyment, meditation is not for that. We should know what is the meditation. We say our meditation is only to change our thought process, for the concentration, for everything, to change our old sanskara. I am body, mind, sense complex. This old sanskara with us, not for this life, with us from lives and lives. So that all, everything should go out. Only for that reason we are doing meditation. If we know, then we never let them allow. If only we are sitting in meditation and all we are keep on thinking, last time it may happen, you know, if we keep on doing japa, or if we're doing something, Shivoham, whatever we are, at last time for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, if everything is, nothing is there, then it's fine. But we should not ask our mind, stop thinking. This is wrong thing. Sometimes our mind can totally engross with our japa. Sometimes we are totally engrossed with whatever we are doing nididhyasana. At that time it's fine. But rasasvada means forcefully we should not stop our mind to think anything. It's called one obstacle. So after is, our Shastra used to say, after addiction of this alcoholic people, you know, they drink alcohol. Why? They would like to forget something, whatever they have some pain. So if they drink alcohol, they can forget for time being. When addiction, when they intoxicated, but that everything is gone, same condition that person comes, same pain will be there. Same thing can be possible in rasasvada also. Same thing. We can sit for meditation, all pain will go away because our mind is practiced not to think for half an hour. So we can enjoy. After half an hour, if it starts our normal life, same pain will be there, persist. So this is not good. That's why rasa swada also is one type of obstacle. And last time we have seen, it says there are 3 types of students. One is called Uttama. Here we can last Kanishta. Just now what we have seen, Kanishta. But Uttama means a student, one who has good reception and good retention, while during all transaction with word. So in verse Christ says also that person can keep mind calm. And there is called Kanishta or Adhamaha student. There is a no reception, there is a no retention. So it's okay for that person. But who is the mediocre? There is a Madhyama student. So reception is very good. While teaching, that student can understand everything, but it doesn't reflect in transaction. We become unhappy. We become always, sometimes we have anger. Why? This teaching, it doesn't go in our subconscious mind. That's why meditation is to change our thought process. Even I used to say, subconscious mind, if you take graph, is little bit less. And our conscious mind is little bit high. So generally now that all psychiatrists or all psychologists, they say, if we sit in meditation, that active mind goes up to subconscious mind. And if we, whatever suggestion we give to our subconscious mind, everything will taken by subconscious mind. It starts thinking for 24 hours. While this active mind is always work for whenever we are awake. So I think our rishis never clarify this, but they say you can change your thought process while you sit in meditation. So I think maybe for this reason, because subconscious mind is more active during meditation. And whatever we give to subconscious, everything goes inside. And Arjuna, now Arjuna has asked that question. Chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramathi balavadrudham tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. So his complaint to Krishna, he says, Manaha chanchalam, Manaha pramathi, Manaha balavat, and Manaha drudam. That much complaint he has for his mind. And he says, for mind is have such quality, for that, tasya, for that reason, aham manye, I consider tasya manasaha nigraham is very difficult. Tasya manasaha nigraham, very difficult, like vayoho iva sudushkuram. We cannot grasp wind in our hand. Same way, mind is also subtle. Mind is also way. So that's why I cannot grasp. It is very difficult to control of my mind. Like to control wind is very difficult. Same way to control mind is also difficult. So the meaning of chanchalam is again keep on wandering. The meaning of pramathi, he has given 4 adjectives for his mind. Pramathi, he starts churning. Mathanam is called churning. So our mind keeps all sense organ and even organs of action makes churn. It's called pramathi. Balavat is very strong. Mind is very strong, and drudam is highly stubborn. For that reason, tasya manasaha nigraham. To control that mind is for me is very difficult, like one cannot control the wind. Sudushkaram is next impossible. It's difficult to hold it. That's he asked question to our Lord Krishna. So first time he has used Krishna. So Shankaracharya is given the meaning of Krishna. Who is Krishna? So he says, Krushatehe vilekhanarthasya rupam. Here the meaning of vilekha means to remove. While in farming, no, that farmers, they use that halam to vilekhanat, to remove all type of plants from the farm. It's called vilekhanat. Same way, what Bhagwan Krishna, what Krishna does, he says, this is Shankaracharya's Bhashyam, Bhakta Jana, Papa Adi, Dosha, Akarshat. What is the Bhagwan does? Akarshat means he pull out all the doshas, defects. And which type of defects? Papa and Punya of all devotee. It's called Krishna. The meaning of Krishna means one who pull out, one who remove the Papa and Punya of devotees. It's called Krishna. And Bhagwan has used, Arjuna has used 4. That's why I've written in 1. He says mind is chanchalam, mind is pramathi, mind is balavat, and mind is dradam. So first one, the meaning of chanchalam is keep on wandering. He says mind is always extrovert, it always goes out, and it is not under my control. Is highly active, hyperactive. It's called chanchalam. And particularly while sitting in meditation. Otherwise, we don't know our mind is active. But while we sit in meditation, we feel it goes out. Pramathi, turbulent. The meaning of pramathi is turbulent. There is a one dhatu, means one kriyapada or verb is matha. Mathanati is to churn. So when our mind is in turbulence, so this all expresses turbulence of mind expressed through our verbal expression, even through our physical level. So not only mind, but mind also forces influence our verbal also, and even our physical level also. So that's why I written 5 plus 5. Our 5 sense organ and even 5 action of organs, they all capable to churn. We can't sometimes, when we are in turbulence, our mind is, so we cannot express. That happened to our Arjuna because of sorrow. Siddhanti mamagatrani mukham cha parishusyati, because his mind was turbulent. So Shankaracharya is written here, what is the meaning of pramathi? So Shankaracharya has written, pramathanam, churning, shilam, and shariram paravashi karoti. Our body, both subtle body and our gross body, he makes totally parvashi, means totally is depend on someone else, is called parvashi krutoti. Our mind should be, we should independent from our mind. But because of this turbulence of our mind is starts depending on someone else. It's called parvashi karoti. It's called churning. One who is the quality like this is called pramathanam. Same way is the balavata. The meaning of balavata means is very powerful. Is written here, our intellect is also involved when mind is more powerful. There is a one shloka, but I don't know that it goes from my mind. But it says, fire and wind, they are not friend. In Subhashitam, it comes. Always they are totally, there are shatrus, they are opposite. So wind can blow out and put out the lamp. There is a small lamp is there. If wind comes, totally lamp goes. But is a big conflagration. If there is a big fire is there and wind cannot able to put off, then what wind says, now we are friend, that fire becomes more and more. Same way, first our intellect try to change the mind. But if mind is more turbulence, no, then intellect says, now we are friends. Then that's why our intellect starts giving justification. I have done because of this. This justification is called balavat. I'm always right. To prove this, we start justification. It's called balavat. And Shankaracharya has given the meaning of balavata is Nakenachit niyantum shakyam. Nobody can control. Kenachit, by anyone, that mind cannot be controlled. It's called balavat. And last one is stubborn. He never listened to anyone. It's called dhrudam. And why? So I have written because of all our subtle, strong vasanas. Same, we can give the example. There is a one seminar was there, and one professor has invite all alcoholic people, and they would like to, they should not have alcohol. So he starts to giving one lecture to that all alcoholic person. He says he kept 2 glasses. One glass was full with water, and another in beaker or glass, whatever say, it was full with alcohol. So he has kept one caterpillar inside that big that container which contains H2O, means water. So that caterpillar starts, floating. It doesn't go inside under the water. It survives. The another caterpillar, he has taken same caterpillar and keeps in another glass which is full of alcohol. Immediately goes inside and it's died. Then that person, professor, asked the alcoholic people, what you have learned the lesson out of this experiment? Then that alcoholic people say, we should keep our stomach clean, There should be no any bacteria or any germs should be inside. If we keep taking alcohol, then our stomach will be clean. This is called stubborn. This is, our mind is like that. Whatever we like, we can do anything. It's called dredam. Arjuna says this all qualification, 4 qualification is of mind. How can I control such mind? And Shankaracharya has written, what is the meaning of dhrudam? So dhrudam means, I don't know what is this. Tantu nagavat achedyam. It is written, there is a one creature in water, inside the water. The name of that creature is Tantu Naga. So I don't know what is the Tantu Naga, but if you pull out one thread of this Tantu Naga, it keep on, we can pulling, but it never dies. It's called Tantu Naga. If you have any access to find out what is the meaning of Tantu Naga, if you can find out that animal inside that water animal, it is water animal. But it's called Tantu Naga. What? Difficult. Tasya, then he says, Tasya means Tasya Manasaha. Shankaracharya has written, Evam Bhutasya Manasaha. One whose mind like this, Pramati, Balavatrudam, and Chanchala. Tasya Nirodham. To control that mind, he says, Manya means I consider. Vayuho eva sudushkaram. Yatha vayoho dushkaraha nigraha. Such as to control Vayu is next impossible. Tataha api manasaha dushkaram mani. He says, Arjuna would like to convey Lord Krishna, same way I consider to control mind is also like windows. Now Bhagavan is giving the answer. asanshayam hi mahabaho. That we will see next. Any question regarding this? Our mind.
Swaminiji,
Yes? Yeah.
the obstacles of meditation, you explained fourth one, rasaswadaha. Okay, I understood, but answer I am not satisfied because somewhere I heard that whenever we do meditation, this feeling will happen, we should enjoy. Somewhere I heard, I don't know where it is. Can you explain one more time this one?
You know, actually, we have classical even definition of meditation. What was there? Is a manasa vyaparaha. The definition of meditation is it is a mental activity. It is a manasa vyaparaha. Pravahavat. It should be like in one flow. Vijatiya pratyaya rahitaha, sajatiya pratyaya sahitaha, ishvaraha, manasa vyaparaha. So this is the definition of meditation. So when it says is a manasa vyaparaha, otherwise it should says there, no? It should be no activity inside the mind during meditation. But according to our Shastra, meditation is only mental activity, but with proper understanding to change our thought process. Even if we are depressed, not nididhyasana, even in our day-to-day, our life, if we are disturbed, so during meditation also we can calm down that mind. You need not be disturbed. For that purpose only meditation is there. If we have some jealousy with someone else, if we are angry, if we have anger in ourselves, keep on telling our mind, why should you? So that will go. Even by praying also to Lord, it will go. But if won't do anything, if we sit for meditation without any thinking, so after a half an hour, that same it will be with us only. That's why during that period, if we stop thinking, we can enjoy that period of time. No, because there is no problem. No, while we are go to sleep, there is no thought process. We are always enjoy. In sleep also, there is no thought process. That's why we are enjoying. Same if we sit in meditation, no thought process, we can enjoy. But it is not solution to change our mind. Meditation is to change our mind. That's why only. Now, is it clear?
Yeah, Swamiji. Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else?
So Swamiji, this obstacles you mentioned in Mandukya, is that from the Karika or in the original Upanishad itself?
No, in Karika. Gauda Padacharya ji has discussed.
Yeah.
Only in Mandukya is only 12 shloka.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's only 12 shlokas. And
but Mandukya, when we say no, it's always along with Karika only.
Okay. So when people say Mandukya, it includes both. It could be in either
always,
one or.
Yeah, it's always because it's explanation of that for all 12 verses, shloka, mantra only. That's why.
Thank you.
Yeah. So shall we do Purnamada? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.